When the players walked onto the field for the opening round of the Nations Championship, most fans were focused on the match itself. They watched the tackles, the passing, the intensity, and the atmosphere. But some eagle-eyed supporters noticed something unusual before the first whistle had even blown. Every major team seemed to be wearing the new Nations Championship logo on their jerseys, except one. The All Blacks stepped onto the field wearing their famous black jersey exactly as fans have known it for generations. There was no tournament badge on the shoulder, and almost immediately, questions began flooding social media. At first, many believed it had to be a mistake. Some joked that New Zealand had forgotten to update their kit, while others wondered if the jerseys had been printed incorrectly. As photos of Australia, England, France, Ireland, Wales, and South Africa wearing the official tournament patch spread online, the mystery only grew. Why were the All Blacks different? The answer soon arrived, and it surprised many rugby supporters around the world. According to New Zealand Rugby, the decision was completely intentional. Officials explained that the Nations Championship Participation Agreement did not require teams to display the tournament logo. Since it wasn't mandatory, New Zealand Rugby made a deliberate choice to keep the famous All Blacks jersey exactly as it has always been. That explanation opened up a much bigger conversation than anyone expected. Suddenly, this wasn't just about a small logo stitched onto a jersey. It became a debate about tradition, identity, and one of the most recognizable sporting uniforms in the world. For generations, the All Blacks jersey has represented far more than just a rugby team. The simple black design, combined with the silver fern, has become a global symbol of excellence. Whether the team is playing in Auckland, Johannesburg, London, Paris, or Tokyo, fans instantly recognize the jersey. It carries decades of history, unforgettable victories, legendary players, and the famous haka that has inspired millions. Because of that legacy, New Zealand Rugby has always been extremely careful about what appears on the shirt. Unlike many international teams that regularly change sponsors or introduce new branding, the All Blacks have kept commercial additions to a minimum. Over the last 3 decades, only a handful of sponsors have appeared on the jersey, reinforcing the idea that preserving its iconic image is a top priority. Many supporters applauded the decision. Across social media, fans praised New Zealand Rugby for protecting one of rugby's greatest traditions. Some argued that modern sports already contain enough advertising and commercial branding, and they admired the All Blacks for refusing to add another logo unless absolutely necessary. To these supporters, the jersey represents something bigger than marketing. It represents history, respect, and national pride. Not everyone agreed, though. Critics questioned why New Zealand chose not to visibly support a brand new international competition designed to grow the global game. They argued that if every other nation was proudly displaying the tournament logo, the All Blacks should have done the same to help promote the event and show unity among participating teams. The discussion quickly spread beyond New Zealand. Rugby analysts weighed in, pointing out that both sides had reasonable arguments. On one hand, protecting tradition has always been one of the All Blacks' greatest strengths. On the other hand, international competitions rely on consistent branding to build recognition among fans worldwide. The debate also highlighted just how powerful the All Blacks brand has become. Few teams in any sport possess a jersey that carries such universal recognition. From grassroots rugby fields to packed international stadiums, the black shirt with the silver fern has become a symbol of excellence that many young players dream of wearing one day. Interestingly, this isn't the first time rugby fans have discussed logos on international jerseys. During Rugby World Cups, every participating nation wears official tournament branding because it is required under World Rugby regulations. The All Blacks have proudly displayed Rugby World Cup logos in previous tournaments without hesitation because those rules are clearly included in the competition agreement. That distinction became the key difference in this latest story. Since the Nations Championship did not require the logo, New Zealand Rugby simply exercised its right to decline. Rather than breaking any rules, The union followed the agreement exactly as written while staying true to its long-standing philosophy. The situation also highlighted how differently rugby unions manage their commercial partnerships. Teams like the Springboks have featured several sponsors over the years as commercial agreements evolve. Other nations have similarly adapted their jerseys to reflect changing partnerships. New Zealand, however, has consistently taken a more conservative approach, choosing stability over frequent changes. For the players themselves, the focus never shifted away from rugby. Dave Rennie's squad continued preparing for one of the toughest international competitions on the calendar. Their attention remained on training sessions, tactical planning, and delivering performances worthy of the famous jersey they wear. Whether a logo appeared on the shoulder or not made little difference once the match began. Still, the conversation demonstrated something remarkable about rugby culture. Even the smallest detail can spark passionate discussion because supporters care deeply about the traditions that make the sport unique. Jerseys are more than pieces of fabric. They tell stories, preserve history, and connect generations of players and fans. As the nation's championship continues, the spotlight will naturally return to the action on the field. The fierce rivalries, dramatic moments, and unforgettable performances will define the tournament far more than any badge ever could. Yet this unexpected debate has reminded everyone that rugby remains a sport built on identity as much as competition. For the All Blacks, preserving the integrity of their jersey sends a clear message. Success isn't measured by logos or branding. It's measured by commitment, discipline, teamwork, and respect for a legacy built over more than a century. Every player who earns that black jersey understands they are representing something far greater than themselves. Whether fans agree with New Zealand Rugby's decision or not, one fact is impossible to ignore. The All Blacks once again became one of the biggest talking points in world rugby, without scoring a try or making a tackle. Sometimes, the strongest statement isn't made through words or marketing. Sometimes, it's made simply by staying true to tradition. As the tournament unfolds, supporters around the world will continue watching one of rugby's greatest teams chase success. And while other jerseys may feature new badges and fresh branding, the famous black shirt will remain instantly recognizable, carrying with it the history, pride, and standards that have made the All Blacks one of the most. When the